Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Vedanta Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, welcome to the place where Lord Brahma ji has shared his realizations, and His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj gave a beautiful description of the Brahma Vimohan Leela. So today I'll speak on basically three themes. First is the background of Lord Brahmaji's greatness, because before we discuss the Vimohan Leela, we should also know that he was not an ordinary personality who got bewildered. So what is the greatness of Lord Brahmaji? The second is how he gets bewildered, as described in the 10th canto. And then also along with bewilderment is his atonement. And then the third element is that the way Lord Krishna inspired Brahmaji to create this material universe, and thanks to Lord Krishna's empowerment of Brahma, the creation came into existence. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowers his associates, the Goswamis, to recreate Vrindavan. So therefore, there is a beautiful verse where Rupa Goswami Pad has been glorified as that personality who got empowered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to help recreate Vrindavan the way Krishna empowered Brahmaji to create the universe. So in the first and second cantos, there are several descriptions about Brahmaji, and he is described by the following words. He is known as Adi Kavaye, or the original personality. Adi Deva, he is described as the first primary demigod. Atma Bhava, Atma Bhu, one who is self-born. He is known as Aja, who is unborn. He is known as Brahmana Pati, the master of the transcendental sound vibration. He is known as Dharma Pati, the master of religious principles. He is known as Padma, one who is born on the transcendental lotus. He is known as Paraguru, the spiritual master, one who is known as Parameshthi, the supreme spiritual master of the entire creation. Pitaram Lokanam, the father of the entire creation. Prajapati, the original progenitor. Prapitamaha, the grandfather. Srijampati, he is known as the supreme engineer. Tapiyam Tapatam, the greatest of ascetics. Veda Garbha, one who is impregnated with Vedic knowledge by Krishna himself directly. So this is a sampling of around 15 ways in which Brahma is referred to within the first and the second canto itself. So that means we are not dealing with an ordinary person, we are dealing with someone who is extraordinarily powerful and empowered. And so in the canto 2, we find that when Narad Muni is approaching Brahmaji and asking that I see this universe being created, and I also see that you are worshipping someone else. So I am a little doubtful about what is your position, because I thought you are the Supreme Personality. And at that point Brahmaji, very honestly, he responds to Narad Muni and he says, Vilajya manaya yasya sthatum ikshapate muya vimohita vikatante mamaham iti durdaya. He says that actually that creator of this universe is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is worshipable even for me. And the material energy is his energy. Through those energies this material creation is made. And that material energy stands like a shadow, submissively serving him. And therefore, yena swarochisha vishvam rochitam rochayamyaham yatharknovni yatha somo yatha riksha grihataraka. All the planets in this material universe are roaming around simply by the will of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am not the Supreme, he is the Supreme, I am simply his servant. So Brahmaji is extremely honest in declaring this, and Prabhupada mentions in those purports how people in the modern society should reflect and get inspired by the honesty of Brahma, that in spite of the fact that he had such factual powers and he is the one who created the universe, but still he is not cheating Narad Muni by saying I am God. He is very honestly saying that I am not God, I am a servant of God, and I am simply an insignificant jiva. But when the insignificant jiva decides or is inspired to follow the instruction of the infallible Lord, then something incredible happens. The inconceivable potency of the Lord is released. And as a result of the release of the inconceivable potency of the Achintya Shakti of the Lord, impossible things become possible. And when impossible things get done, then it creates impact on society. And therefore, in material world, the credit for many activities go to the skills acquired due to past karma. Whereas in the spiritual realm, the empowerment comes by the process not of skills, but of submission. So submission and sincerity is a more powerful principle in the spiritual arena as compared to skills. And so Brahmaji is demonstrating this. And so he offers this prayer where he says, Na bharati me anga mrashopalakshate, na vai kvachin me manasa gira pati. So he says that my words will never experience falsehood because I am simply connected to the will of the Supreme Lord. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Brahmaji is not accepting any credit for himself. Brahmaji is giving all the credit to the Supreme Lord Krishna, and is feeling that my only position is the position of my connection with Krishna and the flow of Krishna's mercy and Krishna's grace. And therefore, that is the perfection of someone who is sincerely trying to practice Krishna consciousness. We gain our power not based on our skills, but we gain our power based on whom we are connected to. And through the grace of the Guru Parampara, that spiritual power flows. And by the flow of that spiritual power, many inconceivable things get done. So therefore, we should realize that whatever we are able to practice in Krishna consciousness is a result of that position, the position of being part of that Guru Parampara through which the power flows. Just like Lord Shiva has serpents around his neck. One time Lord Narayan goes to meet Lord Shiva, and Lord Narayan is traveling on Garuda. So the serpents around the neck of Lord Shiva look at Garuda. And as Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva are having their conversation, these serpents start looking at Garuda and start making fun of Garuda by making the hissing sound. So as Garuda sees that these serpents are making this hissing sound looking at him, Garuda looks at the serpents and says, "Don't think you are getting this power by your own. You are having this power to look at me and hiss at me because you are sitting on the neck of Lord Shiva. As soon as you get down from the neck of Lord Shiva, I will gobble you up." So all your power is simply based on where you are situated. And therefore, Lord Brahmaji, the first person who is born in this creation, he is fully aware of his position as the insignificant servant of the Lord. And based on that, he is empowered. So Brahmaji is not an ordinary personality. He is an extremely powerful personality who is extremely humble. And so, in the third canto, as Brahmaji sees the darshan of the Lord, and then he is given the beautiful description of the Chatushloki Bhagavatam in the second canto, and in the third canto, when he sees the beautiful Lord's darshan, Lord Brahmaji starts offering prayers to the Lord. And in that prayer, he makes a beautiful statement that he says, "Kshatriptridhatubir ima muhuradyamana shitoshnavatavarasharitarettaracha." He says, "My dear Lord, now that I have your beautiful darshan, after seeing your beautiful darshan, I do not really want to do anything else. But I am also aware of the fact that you want me to engage in some service. Because ultimately the whole purpose of having the darshan of Golok Vrindavan is not just to have the darshan, but to follow it with service. Vrindavan is a place where two questions are asked constantly. How can I serve you, my dear Lord Krishna, and how can I please you?" So when Prabhupada first came to Vrindavan, after going to the west, he landed in Delhi airport. The devotees were there to receive him. And the Tejas Prabhu was there and he brought this garland. And as he was about to garland Srila Prabhupada, the garland was right above his head. Srila Prabhupada suddenly looked at Tejas Prabhu and said, "Stop." And he was bewildered because he was wondering, everybody is watching this and Prabhupada has stopped me from putting the garland in a very dramatic way. And there were the reporters also, and there were local people, and they were all watching. And Prabhupada turned to Tejas Prabhu and said, "Have you transferred the amount which you received from book distribution into the book fund?" And Tejas Prabhu was taken aback for a moment, because he did not understand the connection with the garland and the book fund amount. So he said, yes, Prabhupada, the amount has been transferred. Prabhupada said, then you can garland me. So he garlanded Prabhupada, and then he sat in the car. Shyam Sundar Prabhu and Gurudas Prabhu, and they were driving towards Vrindavan. And they were excited because they thought now Prabhupada will speak some intimate leela. First time he is entering into Vrindavan, and they were waiting for every word of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was silent all the way as the car was passing by the various roads. And then finally entered into Chatikara road, right at the entrance of Vrindavan, and Prabhupada had not spoken anything. And the devotees were feeling a little disappointed that Prabhupada didn't speak, because we were expecting him to speak some pastime of Vrindavan, some pastime from Bhagavatam 10th canto, Krishna with the gopis, Krishna with the cowherd boys. And as Prabhupada was watching intently and he was chanting japa, suddenly he pointed in one direction on the side, and the devotees turned their eyes towards there. And Prabhupada showed in that direction, and Prabhupada said, just see. And the devotees saw intently. And there were some groves, there were some trees, there was some field, and there was some construction happening. And the devotees didn't know which scene Prabhupada is referring to. And then Prabhupada just suddenly said, cement. And the devotees were trying to remember which pastime is that. And Prabhupada again said, cement. And the devotees said, excuse us, Srila Prabhupada, but what exactly do you mean? And Prabhupada said, well, we are entering into Vrindavan, and in future many devotees will come from all over the world, and for them to take shelter of Sri Vrindavan Dham, we need to create a beautiful temple and beautiful center for them, and for that construction we need cement as a priority, and that should be our first priority. And the devotees realized entering Vrindavan is not a romantic idea. Entering Vrindavan is all about how can we engage in service. And therefore, Brahmaji, in his darshan of the Lord, is praying, my dear Lord, we have your darshan, but now the service which you are giving to me is extremely difficult, because Brahmaji was given the task of creating the material world designed to give trouble to every conditioned soul. I mean, just imagine, devotees like to serve, to give pleasure. And what gives us some satisfaction is when people are pleased with the service. And Brahmaji has been given the service that you design the material world in such a way that each and every conditioned soul experiences the following. First, kshut, hunger. Trit, thirst. Tridhatubir, ima, a body comprised of three dhatu, kaf, vata, pitta, which should always remain in imbalance. The only place they are in balance is in the books. And therefore, Tridhatubir ima muhur ardhyamana. And they should go through these miseries repeatedly. Shita, cold, Ushna, heat, Vata, wind, Varashay, excessive rainfall, Kama Agnina, the burning of lust, Achyutarusha, indefatigable anger. Sir, Durbharena Sampashyato Mana. All of these should constantly trouble the conditioned souls. And so Brahmaji is praying, my dear Lord, I am feeling very much sad seeing what I have to put these conditioned souls through. Please help them. And Brahmaji is in a mood of that prayer. And then, as Mother Earth is in great difficulty in the third canto, it is through Brahmaji's nostrils that Lord Varahadev appears. And then in the fourth canto we find that, and also in the third canto, there is a beautiful description of the Vaikuntha planets given by Brahmaji, in which when the Chatush Kumaras are coming to the gates of Vaikuntha, they are stopped by Jay and Vijay. And thanks to the curse of Jay and Vijay, thanks to the curse of the Chatush Kumaras, Jay and Vijay take the form of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, thus demonstrating that the curse of the devotees infatuates the heart with material desires. And the blessings of the devotees, as experienced by Prahlad Maharaj from Narad Muni, fills the heart with devotional desires. And so Brahmaji is the one who is narrating this pastime in that third canto episode. And then in the fourth canto we find that in the assembly hall, when Daksha enters, everybody gets up except Brahmaji and Shiva, and Daksha becomes extremely angry and he starts cursing, and there is a counter cursing, and finally Daksha is killed. After Daksha is killed, Lord Shiva is in a furious state and he is sitting and doing meditation. It is Brahmaji who intervenes and requests Lord Shiva to somehow make an adjustment. And then ultimately Daksha is revived and brought back to consciousness, and the yajna continues. Then in the fourth canto, when there is an episode of conflict between Indra and Prithu, both Indra and Prithu are incarnations and they are getting into a severe conflict. And as the conflict reaches its crescendo, the 99th horse sacrifice has been performed by Prithu Maharaj. And it is Indra who is repeatedly stealing the horse. Although Indra is repeatedly stealing the horse and Indra is the culprit, Brahmaji manifests and he tells Prithu Maharaj, please stop your horse sacrifices and do not perform the 100th horse sacrifice. So who was the culprit? Indra. Who gets the lecture? Prabhu. What is this called? Krishna consciousness. That means we cannot use our material intelligence to understand certain principles. So Prithu Maharaj should have protested and should have said, what kind of a justice system is this? The one who committed the crime is standing right next to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu enters, bringing Indra along with him. And Indra is on the side of Vishnu. And Indra is, Lord Vishnu gives another round of lecture to Prithu Maharaj. So towards the end of the fourth canto, first part, and then in the next second part, Prithu Maharaj gets a double dose. And basically, Lord Vishnu, he just explains, Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu both explain a simple principle. What is your priority in life? Do you want to occupy the throne within the heavenly planets? Or do you want to sit on the throne within Krishna's heart? Do you want to enter into heaven? Or do you want to enter into Krishna's heart? So if your priority is to enter